Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
That was like you were like, what? We just got brought in too quick.
Are
How are
you,
you?
I'm very good. It's been a whirlwind of a couple of weeks. Um, very intense, but very exciting as well. You know, when you feel like everything's happening all at one time, and
Mm,
like I said before about the domino effect and it feeling like you're dealing with like spinning loads of plates, but wow, like the last few weeks have just been insane, and all the things that have come from it have been amazing. But like my work has gone. What's the word? I'm basically being a bit of a hypocrite. So my
okay.
my working pattern has gone ridiculous because, and at the end of the day, though, like I've said to Keo, because it's gone from I'm going to work X till X and this till this and not this. It's been like now, actually, I'll see you at some point. Like you'll probably be asleep by the time I get in,
Yeah.
and he's been amazing and really supportive with it. But obviously, that's not the ideal because you want to try and manage your workload to be able to. The whole point of how amazing this job is and the industry is that you can manage it around your life and around your
Yeah.
children and around your family. But sometimes things happen and they're like the too much of a good opportunity to not grab with both hands. And considering that I've been away, so the first 6 months of the year I was away for 3 months of them. So technically I've had 3 months off work, and I've just sort of prepared in my head now that for the next 4 months it's going to be very intense, and I'm really happy about it, to be honest, because I love it. Like I do love it, but at the same time, obviously, you feel guilty on people, and like obviously, Keo and the kids are my main priority. But I feel like this transition period right now is going to be where instead of going at here, it's going to be up here, and I need to cling to it and get it done. And I know that like the new offices, which is what we're going to
Mm,
talk about today, the new
yeah.
offices obviously with new staff. New staff come with needing training, needing guidance, needing attention. I cannot, for them, not give them 100% of my time and make sure that they know, because I'm an absolute control freak, don't trust people. And for me to be able to build trust, and like we spoke last week about viral videos and things, I think I could genuinely do that, with the help from people. I think I could do that quite often. I could create viral videos, which would create a lot of leads, which would then be passed to my staff.
Yeah.
But I can't do that until they're ready to take that on. Otherwise, it'd be unfair to them. And that's where it comes between you've got to make a decision on, got to put the time and effort in to be able to get them ready, rather than just saying, there you go, crack on, and then hating what they do because they're too busy and they don't understand why they're doing it and shutting them into the deep end. So, new office, new staff, whole new part of life and career for Karla that she's never done before, and I'm not being totally straight. It's not my strong point, training. I'm very impatient and
Really? I never would have guessed. Wait there.
really impatient. Don't you? I swear down that I'm going to ban it. I'm going to ban that noise on this show.
Can't.
Ban
Doesn't
it.
matter. I
Ban
produced the show, so I.
it.
No,
It's
it's not
against
banned.
my will. For anyone
Carla
who
doesn't
listens,
tell
it's
me
against
what to
my
do.
will.
You do
I
not
freaking
tell
hate that
me.
noise, honestly. You feel an absolute tit every time it goes off.
I love it. No,
Um,
it's true though. No, I think you're right. What you're doing though, and this is something on that, like it's very interesting, like you're saying about with Keo and the kids, and what you're doing here is I actually had a similar conversation with my wife, and it's a similar thing of like you've got to look at life as seasons. And the reality is right now is a season for you of work. It's hard work. And that's not forever. It will change and it will move and it will grow. And anyone who's successful doesn't work all the time, but they might do. We have these seasons of our life, which might be a year, 2 years, 5 years. But then we have these seasons of relaxing. You've had it. You just said then you've not worked for 3 months on holiday.
yeah,
You've worked, but like so I think sometimes that's something amazing to like. You're lucky when you've got a partner like Keo who understands that. I've got it with my wife, where when you understand that it's like, yeah, you go and you do what you need to do in order to get this to work, and I'll,
yeah,
we'll
it's
be here.
amazing.
Then it's an
And
amazing
like,
thing.
I mean, I have work, but this is what I mean. I think my definition of work is very different to other people. So, like when I was in Florida and I did a bit of work, as in, you know, when we were back by the pool, I'd sit and answer some emails or do stuff. That to me is not work. That to me is just keeping the heads, like keeping floating. Whereas when I mean work, I mean coming in at 9 o'clock, working till 11, not moving, being proper, full on. And that is really intense. And it's so, like, being brutally honest, it's so draining because you love it. Like, I never come to work and think, oh, like I could sit here, I swear to God, if I could work for 24 hours, I'd sit here and work because I love it. I get a buzz off it. And I am definitely addicted to it, 100%. So it's not very good when I am really busy because it basically is like giving an addict exactly what they want. And it's like, oh, great. I can do this forever. Like,
I know what you mean.
It's not good, but at the same time, when it's building towards something so constructive, like obviously getting new offices, I absolutely shit myself because I've gone from not having any bills to pay out, you know, just having the office in the house. And we're doing the extension. I could have built an office big enough for 8 people in the house, but realistically, is that going to be a very good work-life balance for me? And is it going to be a good place to bring people to work and motivate them to do you know what I mean? Like, I think office environment has proven over the last few weeks to be definitely more constructive, but there's the additional cost. And with the additional cost, doesn't matter how much money you're making. Well, for me, it doesn't anyway. It doesn't matter how much money I'm earning. I still look at every cost as, is it a necessity? Does it need to be that much? Am I paying too much? Am I putting too much pressure on myself? Like, financial commitment scares the life out of me. Like, it does. It's just so in my nature. I'm not tight. Like, I'd buy anybody anything and I'd spend anything on anyone. What I am tight on is anything to do with financial commitment for myself. So, like, if anything was to go tits up, would I be okay? Like, do I need to be spending that?
You run what they call like a lean. It is true, but you run like what they call like Neil Patel, who's a massive marketing guy. His business, I think his business turns over $1 billion a year. I think he does. But he has an awesome podcast called Marketing School, and he talks about it all the time, saying like in the beginning, which is why you've been so successful at the beginning. He said you need to run what they call a lean business, and he said, and that's so it's not being tight; it's looking and saying, he said successful businesses have high profit and low expenses, and he said, and there's a lot, and he said, and then you do have to scale, and that's where you've had this thing, isn't it? You still run a lean business, but as your profits go up, your business expands. You can't keep staying in the room.
No,
you can't.
You outgrow it.
But it doesn't mean that you're gonna. And then what he said, he was saying this on his thing. He said you have to scale exactly what you were doing because he's got like 800 employees and all this stuff. But he said, but it does mean that you don't provide them with lunch and every day, and you don't. He said you don't have to scale to be like Google. He said because that's not a lean business. He said you're better off paying them better money and motivating them to go to work for a cause than you are like what you do with protecting women and stuff, as opposed to going, come and work with us and we'll provide you with all this stuff. He said, because quite quickly, he said a little bit of success can inflate and you end up making no money. So what you do is very, very good.
It's just it's a bit daunting when I went to view the offices the other week and like picking what I want and what the price is going to be and sitting there thinking, right, I want to be here by the end of the year, but do I believe it? And it's so weird because I know what type of person I am. Like, if I set myself a challenge, if I said, right, I want 20 staff, I'd have 20 staff. Like, it's just not, I don't doubt myself, but it's when it's to do with, I don't know, committing financially, it just scares me. So it's been a very big transition for me the last couple of weeks. And when I went and seen the offices, I was so excited and, getting to decide, like furniture and what size and what you want. And it's at like building stage. So we're going to be here, like I said, in the temporary offices for a while, till the middle of September, I think. But being able to do that is just like amazing. It's so good. It's been the weirdest couple of weeks because I'm like so excited, but at the same time I'm absolutely shitting myself and like I've got to make this work. And it's going to be, and just even with staff, like when we did our team photos last week as well, and I was so emotional. I need to tell everyone about this because this last week was just insane. So bear in mind that anyone who follows me knows that I went to Australia, and my best friend lives in Australia. My best friend was pregnant. That's why I went to Australia. So we've got our team photo shoot set up, and it's the first time all the women have been together in one room, and we're doing the videos and the new team images and stuff for the website. And I was already feeling very emotional because realistically, a year ago, it was just me. So to be like a year ago, just me, and then now we're going to do a team of photos of 8 or 7 or 8. One of them wasn't there, so it was 7. I was just like, this is insane. Like, this is unbelievable. Like, how good. And then obviously I'm just sorting out the offices, and I'm like, oh my God, like, it's actually working. Like, a year ago, it was just me. So I'm sat just about to go in for my photo shoot. I had my hair done, I had my makeup done. Well, I didn't have my makeup done, but I did it myself better than I normally would. And I'm sat at this place where we're getting everything done. And I see my best friend's dad, who is doing the renovation on the house. And I come out, and I was like, he'd just come back from visiting Chloe. And I was like, why are you here? I said, you're meant to be working, like taking the piss. He's like, oh, I've just come for some dinner. And then Chloe's mum's there, they're sat there. I'm going, what are you doing? And I was telling him I'm doing my photo shoot upstairs. We've got the team there. And I'm going, oh, it's amazing. I'm so proud of you, blah, blah. Like, what are you waiting for? I was like, I'm just waiting for a couple more girls, and then we'll be going up and doing it. And then he goes, oh, is this one of them? I turn round, and there's Chloe with the baby walking over. And I was like, what the fuck? What's going on? I literally, honestly, I nearly passed out. It was the most surreal experience of my life, because obviously Chloe, bearing in mind I'd FaceTimed the little cow the day before, and she was at her home, and I knew that her mum and dad had gone to Dubai before they come home. So I was like, if she's going to be on the flight home, she's going to be on the flight with them. She's not going to fly on her own.
No.
So when I FaceTimed her, she's still in Australia, I was like, you little bitch, thought you were going to come and surprise me. Like, you know how much I want to see the baby. Like, it's killing me. I nearly booked a flight out there myself to go and see her, but I couldn't leave the kids. So she was like, Karla, I can't. The baby hasn't even been injected. I can't come. And I got off the phone. I was in the office, and I got off the phone. I was like, fuming. I'm absolutely raging. I thought she was coming home. So I had no idea whatsoever. And then she told me that she was literally going to the airport about an hour after I rang her. And what she'd done is, where her mum and dad had gone to Dubai for 3-4 nights, she was meeting them in Dubai. So she did the first leg of the travel on her own, and then the rest of it with them.
Oh, wow.
But honestly, so the last couple of weeks has been insane. Like, so, I mean, all this stuff with like the viral video, the trainees, the new staff, new offices, and then shotting my best friend coming up, like surprising me to come home for a couple of weeks. My head's been a little bit mangled. So I'm chasing my tail massively, but what a surprise. It was amazing. So I was extremely emotional. I had to have a couple of wines to calm down. So then the photo shoot that we did, honestly, the pictures that are going to come out, I'm dying.
It's going to be like, when you're like this, oh, yeah.
Honestly, the video I'm talking, but all the other lasses were like, yeah, because they're all nervous, because a lot of them, it's the first time they've done videos or been like the photos done. Obviously, like, I'm a little bit more comfortable with it because I've done it more, but you still, every time you do it, it's still nerve-wracking when
it's still like, even comfortable. I find it super. I hate pictures, like, and I'm on video all the time, but I don't know about you. Video is very different to pictures, because pictures, I never take a good picture. Like, it's just, you always get caught in the wrong angle. It's like awful. Whereas with video, it's a lot easier. I hate, it's so uncomfortable, and it's like, smile.
Chandler Bing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm literally like, this is just terrible.
So I'm screaming at the get every time they were doing it. I'm going, no, need to be happier. No, come on, stop being scared. Right away, get a glass of wine. Come on, like, just like trying to make them feel a bit better. So by the end of it, we're all 3 bottles deep in wine, and it was the poor bloke, bless him, Yellow Box marketing it unbelievable. Matthew was going, right, what we doing now? And I'm going, so I think we should do, and telling him my ideas. Look at me as if to say, are you taking the piss? And I was like, no, I think it'd be really good. And he's obviously looking, thinking, I know she's had 2 glasses of wine, so is she taking the piss? But we ended up doing it, and I'm talking like picking me up like I was a bride, like all of them holding me. one with the sofa, like Kim Kardashian, the Kardashians, where they're on the sofa. Then we did a Friends one. Like, these team photos are going to be the most interesting team photos to ever come out of insurance. I guarantee that. Like, he was buzzing. He was like looking afterwards, and he was going, "These are going to be class." And I was like, "Yeah, they are for marketing purposes." But now I've woke up this morning, I'm a little bit concerned about whether they're going to be suitable for the insurance industry.
Are you going to have them on the wall and stuff, like in the new office, like photos?
I didn't think of that. That's a good shout, actually. If we
I
get
would.
some funny ones.
Yeah.
And just to make it even more cringier, I took the piss and was like, in our group chat, I was like, right, so everyone has to wear black and I'm going to wear purple because obviously the logo's purple. I was joking. I would
They all
not
did.
dress in purple. I'd look like a bruise. So I turned up in my black and everyone else was in black, and they were like, "You said you were going to dress in purple." I was like, "I was joking. I'm taking the mick." But I did have a blue top. So this blue top, they were like, "Well, wear the blue." I was like, "Do you not think that's too cringy?" And they're like, "No, I think it'll look good because everyone else is in black and you're in blue." I was like, "Okay."
I bet it looked good though, because it will.
I mean, anything for me to be star of the show.
I was
So
going to
yeah,
say, like, I'm not allowed to be, like, I'm not allowed to be here because that's not on. It's got to be like
that's
that.
not fair. Get back in your little corner.
It's got to be that, or it's even that. I just literally off screen.
That's too much. Big fat fire. So yeah, so it was really good, and obviously just being around, like literally seeing, because you do a lot of it remotely, so you've done a lot of training remotely, you're in like group chats and things, and I've spoken to them individually, and I've seen the new starters come in the office with just me, but to see them all together and do like the team, it was so good, and it was just like, it was made me really emotional because I just thought, this is literally, if you'd have said to me a year ago, in a year's time, you're going to have officers, you're going to have 8 staff, and you're going to be doing what we're doing now, I'd have said, "You're joking. Like, no way on this earth." But it's happened, and without sounding too corny, there's not a single reason why anybody else can't do it, because all I've done is work hard.
I love that. So we want to make sure we wrap this one up quick for this one, because we did a really long one last time. But if you've got, what parting words would you say to somebody then, if they, like, from this episode, you've done so much stuff, you covered so many cool things in there, like how your life has changed really. What like parting words?
I think without saying, going into it too much, but I can't. Don't let anyone limit you at all. Like, you sit and you do. Everyone has doubts and everyone thinks that they can't do the things they want to do. But without sounding cringy, I've done so much in a year that would probably never have been expected. And you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how close you are to hitting that success or to the next stage. But if you ain't trying, you're certainly not going to get there. Like, you need to be putting the time and effort in, and you need to understand what you want to achieve and just go for it. I love that saying of aim for the moon, and if you don't reach, you'll land on the stars. Like, I'm all right.
You're right.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah. Aim for the stars and you might reach the moon.
Are you sure?
I'm adamant.
You're going to have to Google that. I think you're wrong.
No
need to Google it.
Trust me.
If you're wrong. Land on stars quote.
You can't land on stars because they're a ball of fire.
Okay, so it says, if you miss the moon, you'll land among the stars. See?
That's not one. That's different what I've heard. I've heard aim for the stars.
Thank you. I'm so glad. Shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you'll land among the stars.
Oh, so I've heard shoot for the stars because even if you don't reach it, you'll at least reach the moon.
No, it's the wrong way. I'm going to have to do some research on that, Ash.
Oh, okay then.
So for once in our entire relationship, I am right. And it's about a quote about
I just collect messages. I collect WhatsApp messages and like DMs from people going, "You were right." That's what I get all the time. Like, "Did this thing, Ash, you were right." And I literally have a folder of them. It's like, everybody, like, and I just go,
"Oh, well, this is one folder that you need to name I was wrong." And you need to put it in there, and everyone watching knows that I was right, and I'm never right because I'm thick, because I've got no common sense, but I am right. So yeah, parting words would be aim for the moon, and if you don't reach, you land among the stars. But
that's going to be where is it?
Oh yeah, literally.
Awesome.
So, do you think that was all right?